Okay, well, acting for me, like I always say, started by chance. It wasn't something. It was something that I knew that I didn't want to do. Of all the talents that I had, acting was something that I had a consciousness about it, and made a conscious decision that I would never go into acting. I didn't have a reason. I just didn't really like the art. Every other thing, like the songwriting, the music, the dancing, and then the modeling, all those other parts, I knew that I would eventually venture into it one day, but acting was a no-no for me. So in 2007 was the first time that I stood in front of a camera to act, and I guess I enjoyed it, even though I wasn't really into it. And someone saw something in me that I probably didn't see in myself at that time. So he goes by the name Acho Yusuf. He's a director. A long time ago. So he called me up a year later on another project he was working on and wanted me to play a major role, even though I had a very small role in the first film. And that was how it kicked off for me. And I started doing it because I enjoyed it, and it wasn't very stressful. But as I was doing it, I was growing as well, because it's one thing for you to have the natural talent. It's also another thing for you to be able to be directed by a director on how to portray a particular character, because characters are different. So, so it's been fun so far. I haven't done a lot of films because even when I started, I was still very reluctant about it. So I practically focused on TV series and soap operas before I actually started doing, films, cinema films, and then eventually going into production a couple of years ago. So that was how the journey started for me. What happened was, I think it had to do with the fact that the thing about the industry, you have to be ready for anything at any time. I got called up the day that I was supposed to be on set to pick up a script, and in my mind I'm thinking, how hard could it possibly be? So I showed up on set with costume and everything, and it was a night shoot. I was pretty young then, so it was even hard getting permission to leave home at that time. So I got to the location and I was handed a 2.5-page script for a first timer, and I wasn't really nervous because even before acting I'd already started modeling. I was used to being in front of the camera, so I wasn't camera shy. The whole light and everything, crowd, performing in front of people wasn't new to me, so I wasn't bothered about that. But what I was worried about was getting my lines and being able to deliver. I was used to cramming from school, but it's one thing for you to cram lines, and it's another thing for you to actually say it in such a way that it feels natural, that it's coming from you. So it's basically you saying lines and acting at the same time. For some reason, I don't know how, I was able to deliver that line in one take. And as at the time I finished the lines, there was silence in the room. I got thrown off because I'm thinking maybe I did something wrong. They did not realize that I had finished my lines. And I think that was what wowed the director, and he's asking, who's this kid and where did he come from? And then he started asking me questions like, I've acted before. I'm like, no, it's my first time. And he told me that I have a gift, so that I should not just, put it on the sidelines. I shouldn't abandon it, that I should work on it. So it was a fun experience. People looking at me that way, like, this guy is new, but was able to get all these lines in one take and everything. So I was feeling all cool and everything with myself. It was a fun experience. No, I don't think that Nigerian soap operas are not as popular as they were back in the day, because, I mean, it all depends on what the audience wants to see. Fine, yeah, the movie industry, film industry is growing generally, soap operas, movies and everything, but I think it has to do with the growth and, the development and how we try to make it look as good as possible. There are TV series and soap operas we have on TV today that people are die-hard fans of, and they'd rather watch that than watch movies. The simple reason from my own small research is this: these soap operas go for a long period of time. There are shows that go on TV every day, literally every day of the week. You can watch a movie for an hour, 45 minutes or 2 hours max, and then it's done. And then you probably have to wait for a part 2, if there's going to be one. But the thing about soap operas, it feels like it's happening in real time, and you can follow their story as they go. Even the characters, you watch them grow from the beginning to the end, if there's going to be an end. So people feel more connected to it because it runs for a longer period of time. So I don't think that it's not as popular as it was. As a matter of fact, I think it's even growing bigger and bigger. A lot of people want to jump into it because it sustains them for a long period of time. Other than the art part of it, the business part of it as well. If you do a movie, you get a one-off payment, but if you're doing a soap, you get paid per episode or per scene. But you know what I'm saying. The business aspect of it, most actors would rather do that. So, so yeah, that's what I think. Okay, I got on Tinsel shortly after I finished the reality TV show Good Ultimate Search, which I participated in 2011. It was the 8th season, Contest of Champions. I remember I got a call from Mnet Studios from a lady called Uche. She called me the night that it was supposed to be the presentation of the prize and the unveiling of the Ultimate Man. So she called me that night. I remember I was still in my room getting ready. And then she called me that she got my number from a colleague of hers who knew me, and they watched me on the show on Ultimate Search, and congratulations for winning and everything, and she would like me to come to the studio to pick up a script to read for a particular character. I was shocked at first because I'm like, this is Mnet, this is Tinsel. Even though I'd never auditioned for it, I have a lot of friends that audition because they do like one audition in a year, one general audition in a year. And I have friends who keep going year after year and they never get any roles, and these people are calling me directly. I must be doing something right. So I'm like, I'm not in Lagos right now. And she said, whenever you come into town, come and pick up a script. I said, okay. So I came back to Lagos, went to the office, to the studio, and then they gave me a script, and I guess I murdered the role. But I didn't hear from them for like another month and a half. So I was thinking, maybe I didn't do it right, but I have this philosophy: if it's mine, it's mine. If it's not mine, I can't be bothered about it. If I step into an audition ground, I give it my best. Once I leave there, it's out of my mind. If I get a call back, fine. If I don't get a call back, it's as simple as that. It doesn't stop me from pushing further. So after like a month and a half or like 2 months, then they called me up to come and meet with the line producer to discuss pay and meet with some other characters that I was supposed to be having a lot to do with in this series. It still felt like a movie to me. But eventually I went there and then we discussed, and I got my first official script, which was like this big, and fixed the date for shoot my first time on set. I remember I walked into the main studio for the first time, and it just felt surreal. Like I couldn't believe I was standing in the actual studio where you're looking at Fred Williams' apartment, you're looking at Angela's apartment, and I'm actually gonna be on this set. And before we knew it, it was action, and then it was cut, and I'm like, oh, so really, like right now I'm a cast of Tinsel. It felt really, really good, and I loved the character I was playing, and apparently a lot of people loved it as well. So it's been fun so far. I haven't been on the show for a while because you know the way it goes. Sometimes the story comes to you, sometimes it goes to someone else. But I think it's good because it's giving me time to do a lot of my own personal projects and everything. So yeah, it's been good. I love acting. I just love acting, whether it's soap opera or film. But the reason why I would sway more in the direction of film is because it's a personal thing. I don't like to be engaged in one thing for a long period of time. Yeah, I like to finish. So I start something, I finish it, and then I move to other things. Soap operas requires a lot. First of all, continuity. You have to maintain a particular look for a long period of time, depending on how long you're supposed to be in the show. So I think I would sway more in the direction of film, because you can do it and then be done with it and then move on to the next one, where you have to play a completely different character, you have to look completely different, you have to sound different, so it helps me grow as an actor, because I can explore different parts of myself as an actor, as an artist. So but if it's a good soap, I don't mind. Lock down for a year or two if it's a good soap, if it's a good story, if my character is good, and most importantly, if the pay is good. Why not? Let's make it happen. So yeah, I think that's it. Oh yes, of course. I feel like being a model for a couple of years helped me transition into acting, because even when I started off modeling, I started off pretty young. I remember that 90% of the auditions that I went for, I was always the youngest, and for some reason I always got the job. I was very, very lucky. I was very lucky, and God has been very kind to me throughout that period. I started modeling in 2004. I was pretty young then. I haven't even gotten into the higher institution. But I would go for auditions and I'll get the job. I know of models that, bear the title of being a model for like a year or 2 or 3 before they actually do one job. My first job ever as a model was for Milo. It was big, it was a total package, it was billboard, newspapers, bus brands, press, everything, and the pay was good. So I made my first real money at a young age, and I looked at this money, I'm like, I made this from my hard work. This is not like, Momsi gave me money or Popsi gave this. And I'm like, this is something that I think I can do for a long time. So doing it, at that formative stage of my life, was getting used to the pressures of standing, and then there are people that are way older than me, bigger than me, finer than me, more experienced than me, have more exposure than I do, and eventually I get picked and they don't get picked. I look at them, this is nothing. So if I can do this, there's nothing that I cannot do. I have been on sets where I'm shooting outdoor. I think the most challenging job I've done as a model was a commercial we did for Buttermint that we had to shoot in Yabatek exterior, and you know how students can be. When it was a TV commercial and you have to act in front of people. So students literally left their classes and everything that they had to do and gathered. There were like thousands of people gathered. And of course, they would be throwing yabs at, look at this one, what is he doing and stuff like that. So it was really challenging, but at the end of the day, I realized that I was able to block out all that and focus on the job at hand. And it came out good. So I'm like, I got used to it. So being in front of camera, transitioning into acting and being in front of cameras and lights and in front of people in the background, behind the scenes, it wasn't new to me anymore. So it helped me a lot. I would be lying if I said that it didn't help. If it comes to the technicalities, if it comes to filmmaking, I look up to quite a few people like Obi Emeloni, the brains behind Last Flight to Abuja, Miro Boy, and Oxford Gardens, which is very recent. I look up to him a lot. He inspires me, he encourages me to do more. He sees things in me that I don't even see in myself, and he relates to me on a father-son basis. So I look up to him a lot. When it comes to fellow actors, I don't look up to a lot of people because a lot of us, I'm going to use that term, us, a lot of us are very stereotyped, so very few people. OC UKG, any day, anytime, anywhere, has to be number one for me. I've had the pleasure of working with him on different sets, and he's one word, 2 words, something else. I look up to him so much that when I tell people, what was the age difference between you guys? It's not even about the age. The guy has been there for a while, and he keeps getting better and better and better. For every film or project or anything I see him on, it feels like he's better than the last one I saw. And I mean, that is the way to go. You're only as good as your last film. So when you do something good and then you surmount that with something greater than what you did before, you can't be faulted. So I look up to him a lot. Other than that, I admire people's works. I appreciate them, but I don't really look up to a lot of people because, like I said, a lot of us are stereotyped. Even from the filmmaking perspective, the producers, the directors, down to the actors. A lot of us settle for, let's just do it anyhow. Very few of us would actually, take that extra step that needs to be taken to make something look better than it should be. So yeah. Okay, well, thing is, funny enough, music has always been my first love. Music even comes before modeling or acting or producing or anything like that. But it's something that, for some reason, which I don't really know why, I haven't really kicked off professionally. Yeah, I've done a few covers here and there. I write my own songs. I play the guitar, even though not very well. I taught myself. Yes, believe that, it's possible. I taught myself how to play the guitar. So it's something I do right now just for the fun of it. I enjoy to sing. I enjoy people hearing me sing because apparently they like my voice and they compare me to some other people that I'm like, there's no way I'm that good. So I don't know, maybe in the future. I haven't really decided. Right now I'm focusing more on my acting and also producing. But I have an open mind. Anything can happen in the film. I'm not 50 or 60. I'm not very young, but I'm still young. And I think that, all I need is, if I decide to do music today, all I need is knowing the talent I have in me and the person standing behind me, which is of course the Almighty, and the amount of work that I'm willing to put into it. I don't think it's going to take me maximum of 3 years to be as big as the big names you know today. So there's no rush. It's pretty simple. Here's the thing. My dad, God rest his soul, he's late. He was the former Obio Furniture, right? When he was alive, I'll put it this way. If my dad was still alive, I probably would not be doing what I'm doing today, because he would probably have other plans for his children. Obviously, every father has, and then he's not like, parents of today that are more open-minded to, let them follow their dreams, let them pursue their talents or everything like that. He's more, all those kind of parents back in the day. Mom is more like that. She's open-minded. She's always been very supportive. She's always known that her children would, go into the arts and entertainment and stuff. A few of them. And then when we started growing up, my older sister started first with modeling, and then I followed suit. So she expected it. So she's always been there to support. So, but if dad was still alive, it probably wouldn't be happening. I don't know where I would be. Maybe in a better place, maybe in a worse place, but definitely not here. And if I would be into entertainment, it would be on a different level. Maybe I would have that strong financial backing that I am desperately looking for right now, but maybe not in front of the camera. Maybe as one executive producer or something, just doing my films from behind the scenes. If I really push for it, because I know that it's going to take a lot of convincing to let him do that. Let him let me do that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I'd like to tell you guys 5 things that nobody or very, very few people know about me. Some of them might be embarrassing, but what can we do? First off, I used to suck as a kid, which most kids did, but mine lasted for a very long time that I stopped. I won't say relatively recently, but I sure exceeded the age that most kids stop sucking, and I think that is the reason why it happens to be one of the most outstanding features of my face. I'll just leave it there. Secondly, when I was a kid, even though I was very, very shy, extremely shy, I still, my siblings used to call me NTA, because when my folks are not around and the kids feel like they have the freedom to do whatever they want to do, that is when I am just sitting down, chilling and taking notes of everything that is happening, both the good and the bad. And once Momsy shows up, I'm the first to report everything to her. And for some reason, I always try to exempt myself. So I always look like the good kid. They hated me for that. But we're all grown up now. Sorry, guys. So yeah, that's 2. 3. Okay, maybe a lot of people know this, but I think my favorite food in the world is tea and bread. I think it's the best thing that was ever made by whoever it is that made it. I love Milo when it comes to chocolate. Milo, I'm not going to mention the other ones that compete with Milo, but I just love Milo, and I love Peak Milk. Every other milk, Peak Milk, it has to be Milo and Peak Milk, and Agege bread. Or the sliced bread. You can manage about Agege bread. That's the P. That's 3. The 4th thing, I don't know how to toast women. That's true. Yes, I don't know how to toast women. I think I've actually consciously tried to research and find out how it's done. What's the right thing to say? What is the meaning of the concept toast? How do you do it? I found out that every relationship I've been in actually starts off with we just being friends, and I'm like, what do they even see in me? I do not toast you. It's been a problem one time where I was in a relationship with someone for a long time, and then eventually she left me for some other guy. I'm like, oh, but you never toasted me. I'm like, so what were we doing all this while? So I learned my lesson to actually, maybe in the line of whatever is happening, I will make it official and say, please, I know we've been together for a while, but let me ask you now, so it's not be as if I don't tell you, will you be my girlfriend? you know. So that's it for me. I don't know how to do the whole, you know, wooing and everything, which I think it's important. I should probably learn how to do that. Do I need to? If what I've been doing so far is what, you don't change a winning formula, right? So I think I'll just stick to that. And fifth and finally, okay, in my family, my favorite sibling is my twin brother. Yes, I have a twin. Yeah, they don't know this. Maybe they do, but I've never actually said it out loud. Yeah, so it's out there. People should know he's my twin. I don't have a choice. Yes, he's my favorite sibling. And one extra, I think in my family, I am my mom's favorite child. Yeah, you guys can hate on that one. It's not my fault. So yeah, that's it. 5 or 6 things that very few people know about me.